Hi everybody, Mr. Politics here, and welcome to another video. Well, blame game from last week's budget is still going on. Kemi Badenoch asked the Prime Minister, question time, who blamed who for this disastrous budget? Who was briefing against, who was doing all the briefing? Was it Starmer or was it Reeves? Because these two look like they're at loggerheads with one another, with the disastrous budget of last week. Like I've said, it's the blame game. And of course, not one of them will own up who said it was been a disastrous budget. We can guess who it was. Probably Slippery Starmer, two-tier Kia. He took one look at the budget. He was told, one look at the budget, and he must have teared his hair out at what it was. And of course, he's got to try and blame somebody, and he's now blaming Rachel Reeves for the disaster. Well, he signed off the budget. He agreed what was in the budget, so he can get the blame. But of course, he's trying to find ways to remove Reeves as Chancellor. He'd like to get rid of her. Everybody knows that she's useless as Chancellor, and he wants somebody else to replace her. But like I've said, Starmer is on borrowed time, so is Reeves. One of these two is going to have to go in the new year. Something's got to give. I mean, just look how Angela Rayner hated Starmer. She's positioning herself now, isn't she, to try and take over. She wants to be Prime Minister. She's trying to force Starmer out. She hates him. And I wouldn't be surprised in private that Rachel Reeves doesn't hate Starmer. What a government we've got. What a government we've got. A constant sniping at one another and arguing about something. But yes, this last week's budget has been a complete disaster. And there's only one person to blame for it. Well, two, Starmer and Reeves. I mean, after all, when the LBR said that she didn't have to raise taxes, there was no need to. But she wouldn't take any notice. She wouldn't listen, and she went and raised taxes, didn't she? And we know that she raised taxes to pay for people who are on benefits. And of course, she wouldn't listen, and she doesn't listen to what her advisors tell her. She just ignores them. I don't think she can understand economics anyway, or the figures in the Treasury. She seems to be thick to me. Mind you, everybody knows she's thick. She hasn't got a clue. I mean, Kemi Badenoch said that she doesn't know figures. She hasn't got a clue. Who wrote this budget speech for her? Well, it certainly wasn't her. It wasn't Reeves. It was probably Tristan Bellend. He was probably the one who wrote it for her, because everybody said that he was going to write it for her. The Reeves can't be trusted, just like Starmer. He can't be trusted. I mean, she said in last year's budget, after last year's budget, she would never have to come back to raise taxes again, did she? What a lie that turned out to be. This government is just liars. They're lying to everybody. How can Starmer sit there in question time with a straight face and say how wonderful the government are and the things they're doing, that they're taking children out of poverty and putting money into the economy? We all know it's not going to happen. We all know what a disaster Labour are. Every time we have a Labour government, something always goes wrong. Can't understand why the voters voted for Labour last year. Surely they could have seen right away what a disaster they'd be if they was in government, and look what's happening. I mean, Calamity Lammy, he's doing away with jurors, isn't he? In some criminal cases, he's doing away with it. I mean, when the Tories was in government and they were going to do the same thing, he tweeted out saying it's undemocratic. And look what's happening now. Calamity Lammy. Yes, I'm afraid to say that this government has got to go. People are now beginning to realise it was a mistake to vote them in. Probably the voters won't make that mistake again at the next election. They've seen through the lies of Starmer and the rest of his ministers, and they'll make their minds up at the next election. And I'm afraid to say it'll be the end of Starmer and his slippery government at the next election. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Mr. Politics here signing off. And remember, don't believe the lies.